Okay.
Okay, so continuation. Then we see Melissa talking to her father regarding the girl who died. The way she kept quoting it too, like saying it too.
She said exactly.
Exactly.
Do you think that Spencer killed that girl?
That girl.
Not Allison. So they know. They knew that it wasn't Allison. They know that Allison's still alive. Mm-hmm. They knew it. Everybody fucking knew it but these girls. Everyone knew it but these girls. And that's a shame. Like, I'm sorry. That's a shame. Like, you have the fact that like, she's like, oh, do you think that Spencer killed that girl? And then she's like, it wasn't Spencer because I know who did, or I did it, or whatever she whispered in her dad's ear that shocked her dad.
Yeah, or mommy did it,
whatever. Mrs. Hastings did it. You don't turn your back on a Hastings. That's going back to it. I don't know what the hell the feud was going on between the Hastings and the De Laurentiis, but something was going on that we don't really know.
He got her sister pregnant.
Okay. It's a possibility. Sarah thinks that they're sisters, the Hastings and the De Laurentiis. Mrs. Hastings and Mrs. De Laurentiis.
And Peter got her sister pregnant.
It's possible. But then it's still, so we find out, like, you know, Spencer, you didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You were sleeping.
Still does not, their reasoning is, well, Spencer, you couldn't have done it. You were still sleeping.
But then she wasn't asleep when she
said... It doesn't explain why Spencer was the one that was up when Allie...
Walking into the barn and saying, I thought I heard her scream.
Something's up with that. I still don't... I'm not completely buying the whole Spencer didn't know thing. It's still...
But it would have been Allie that she heard scream. It would have been the girl.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying, Spencer knows something, and her memory's blocking it out. Spencer knows more about that night.
What is this, like a clay fuging?
Perhaps, absolutely.
Was she fuging that night?
So then we go to freaking, Allison wants to go home. So Allison wants to go home. She feels that she won. Ooh, I'm better than everybody. I conquered the night. Sorry. Then we see beautiful Mrs. De Laurentiis. Yeah, she made it home.
So mad at her in that door.
Her mom was standing there. She was pissed off that she went out after she told her not. So Allison stops and looks at her mom. And then all you see is her mom like, somebody's behind you. Run away or just stand there and do nothing. And then,
boom. The blood on the rock, and she
Allie
fucking
gets
covers for whoever doesn't.
So we know that Allie's mom was the one that buried her. Why? I don't fucking know. She's covering for somebody. Is it Cece? Is it her sister? We know that Allie wasn't alive when she was buried, and that Allie was alive when she was buried, and she was trying to yell to her mom, and all she could hear her mom saying is, "What was it? What did you do? What did you do?" So her mom was just as shocked. Like, this wasn't something that her mom was supposed to be involved in, but she was. So who was she covering for?
Mm-hmm. So in reality, Mrs. De Laurentiis really did think Allie was dead when Holbrook came out to her and says, "We think your daughter's alive," and she's like, "I'm sure she's not."
Yeah.
Because I put her in the fucking ground, you two.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know though. I don't know though, because if her mom, because we all saw that Cece was wearing the exact top that Mrs. De Laurentiis had in Allie's room. If Cece knew that Allie was alive and she was in cahoots with Mrs. De Laurentiis, maybe she did know. Maybe she's known for a while.
But if Mrs. De Laurentiis knew Allie was alive, she would be at that police station waiting for all those fucking girls and Allie to be brought to that police station. She wouldn't have left there to end up dead in the ground someplace.
Well, I mean, but
she'd be waiting with the rest of the parents at the police station.
So Grunwald did pull her out of the ground, and she snuck away as she was at the hospital, whatever, and is walking on the road, and here comes Mona. Has Mona, loser Mona, yeah. So has Mona been following her the whole night, and she saw who hit her? That's what I think, especially considering the only person that we knew, because Allie didn't see who hit her. She had her back turned to a Hastings.
Mrs. D. And she's dead.
Yeah, the only person that knew who hit her was Mrs. De Laurentiis. So unless she told somebody, unless Mrs. De Laurentiis told somebody, The only possibility that we're going with right now is that Mona has been following her around all night. Obviously, she's A.
Which I do have one question, because I don't know if we were talking at the moment or what, but was Allie talking to Mona about A?
No. We never actually heard her talk to Mona about A.
She was. Yes, she was. When Mona was cleaning her up, yes, she was talking to her.
She was mentioning
I can't
A.
come back, and then Mona tells her the only way to get away is to think A, you killed
But
me.
but I'm telling you though, we never, I don't know what happened before the cameras hit them. We never actually see Allison say anything about A. Mona just knew. Mona just said, well, if you have to get away from A. I'm positive she never said anything because she was just sitting on the bed and she says to her like, oh, I can't come back, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, you need to
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you need to get away from A, whatever she said. So we never actually heard Allison say to Mona anything about A. So she just fucking knew.
Watch this right now.
She just knew. Well,